Yo, what's going on, guys? We are here. Starting off the show real quickly, guys. We got everybody joining. By the way, we're gonna have a new format for the show, and we're thinking about just doing this on Mondays and Fridays. Life is getting so hectic that way. Like that way, the show can be better quality. We can edit it more. Can be a little longer. I think this will be the last version of the NBA show in the current iteration. So expect changes to the frequency we upload and the live show and the just the type of way we'll do the show. I want it to be a bit more professional. I want it to be a bit more better, and we just want to have more people on it. So just all in all, by us going less days, it will allow us to improve the quality of the show and the duration, just all in the above, just as we get older. I mean, this is literally I think in May it'll be 2 years of us doing this show. So I think at this point, we're all 24 years old and getting to the point where it's not feasible unless this was our full-time job to actually give you quality content on a daily basis. So we're going to be going more than likely Monday as a weekend recap, and then Fridays as a weekday recap, and kind of a send off into the weekend is what we're seeing. And we assume the episodes will be longer at that point. We're joined by Luke for the first time, what seems like forever. And Jackson's over here. How you doing today, buddy? You get that for Christmas?
What?
What, this?
The little jacket, yeah.
I've had this. I've had this for a while, actually.
I kind of like it. I like it.
I think I've had this for a long time. It's just been at my house in Topeka, but I got it when I last went to the Celtics game, like a few years ago.
We're gonna start a GoFundMe for Luke, and we're gonna get you whatever Wayne Rooney had, the hair plugs. You're gonna get
Wait,
addicted.
it didn't work for him, man.
Well, then you're gonna be Joe Buck. You might lose your voice.
No, no,
You
no.
might.
I'm trying to think of.
You
I
know
need
Joe
what
Buck's
happened.
addicted to hair plugs. You know that he's
I
had
Really?
need
so-
the Drake.
wait,
I
That's
need the Drake
confirmed.
regimen.
So
I need
can
LeBron.
pull this out? Wait, babe, shut the fuck up. Let me just say this. Joe Buck has had over
Sucks.
10,
I'm just kidding.
10 hair plug operations, and he almost
Joe
lost.
Buck?
Joe Buck has had over 10 hair plug operations. He's came out and he's an addict, he says, the hair plugs. And he
How do you?
lost his he
How does that
lost
even
his
happen?
voice. He lost his voice because of a hair plug addiction. And
Oh
'cause
my
they put
God.
he almost got fired from his job because he lost his voice for
Oh.
4 months and had to get a
He
speech
said
therapist.
Joe Buck has said that a virus cost him his voice for 2011, but that was a lie. His loss
Yeah.
of speech was a side effect of a hair transplant procedure.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
All right,
But yeah,
let's get back to the NBA.
I need LeBron's treatment. I need
LeBron
treatment.
did good. Who
LeBron
else
Drake.
did really?
Drake hair
Oh
plug is
no,
weird.
Jeremy Pivens.
Jeremy Piven.
Jeremy Piven.
Jeremy Piven and LeBron is what I need.
Jackson, by the way, you should watch. I saw this movie last night with Keanu Reeves and Morgan Freeman at like 2 a.m. I finished that at like 4 last night, called Chain Reaction. All
Chain
right?
reaction.
Yeah.
I mean,
Piven?
are you gonna tell us who else is in that movie? The GOAT himself, Neil Flynn.
Neil Flynn is in that movie. I died.
I thought that was so funny when you said that to me. I thought that was so funny.
Were you
Does he always? Does he just always play a traffic cop or something in random movies?
I don't know.
Because
I
that's
don't know.
Fugitive and that movie. He's just a
And
random
it's like the
traffic
same.
cop. Same
It's
role.
the same time from either way. Oh, that made my night. Were you awake when I said that? Or were you? Did
No,
you see
I
it in the
just woke
morning?
up. I woke up this morning and I saw it on the way to the dentist. I thought it was so funny.
That is funny. That is funny. All right, guys, let's get into it. Victor Wembanyama is averaging 4.7 blocks per game over the last 10 games, 2 steals, and the last player to put up any numbers like that in a time frame during an NBA season went on to win Defensive Player of the Year by the name of Ben Wallace. What is your thoughts?
Fuck Victor Wembanyama. Because I was up 10-1 in fantasy basketball last night, about to secure the 6th seed. As we know, as Henry knows, it's playoff time. Victor Wembanyama rattles off like 6 blocks and a double-double, and
6 assists.
Bavaro comes back 8, and so I only went 8-3. But other than that,
Mark Bavaro,
No,
the best
Nick.
tight end of all time.
Nick Bavaro.
Yeah, Nick Bavaro.
Nick
No
Bavaro.
relation to Mark.
think he gets that a ton. Actually,
The Mark Bavaro shit.
yeah,
That's
he gets that a
so
lot.
funny.
I
Actually,
think I remember that from high school. Yeah.
Who's Mark Bavaro?
you don't know who that? He's like was one of the best tight ends in the '90s. You've never heard of Mark Bavaro?
No, you were Jason Morrow.
Mark Bavaro was like one of the OG good tight ends in the late '80s, early '90s.
I
I'm
feel like
surprised
that
you.
just means he blocked.
He had an 1,000-yard season in the '80s. He had 1,000 yards in the '80s. Show some damn respect.
All right.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Well, do you guys think Victor Wembanyama should be up for consideration for Defensive Player of the Year?
Yes.
And
Easily.
do you think he is going to be able to take the award away from Chet Holmgren, who continuing? I mean, he has like obviously he's not like worlds away from where he was in the beginning of the year compared to Victor, but he still leaps and bounds. Obviously, a more efficient and impactful player in terms of wins, and he's on a winning team. Which, if we look at all other awards, it seems like
Fraud
wins
Bear,
consider.
Are you talking about
Fraud
Roddy?
Bear the favorite? Isn't Fraud Bear the favorite?
No.
I'm
talking. Let me. No. We're talking about two awards right here.
Oh, okay. Because you said take it from Chet. I'm like,
everyone's saying that Chet Holmgren shouldn't win Rookie of the Year anymore because he's not truly a rookie, and B, that Victor Wembanyama has been so good of late that it should say that Chet shouldn't win it, even though I personally think Rookie of the Year is like the only award where people don't act like winning matters, and every other award winning's put into like consideration. And
I think
Chet's on a superiorly better team and is part of the reason why that team is significantly better.
But
so should Vic be consideration as a front runner or a top 2-3 candidate?
He's
for
the
both of those awards.
I'd give Vic, Roddy, and Depoy. Hey, you know what? Actually, Goofy Gobert he's killing it.
Fraud Bear's probably gonna win it,
but Vic's unbelievable.
No, I'm in agreement.
I think Vic's like clear cut. I remember arguing about this a couple months ago, but I guess that minute restriction hurt. But I mean, Chet's a dog. Who's leading? Is it Vic?
Vic has
Chet still leads.
Chet's leading?
How?
But NBA.com. So okay, NBA.com put out this week that Victor Wembanyama took over. Some polls still show like Hoops Hype Global ratings. We still show that Chet's still in front. Other sites, I think The Athletic and a few other and ESPN still are showing Chet in front. But NBA.com with their weekly ladder, as I saw, put Vic this week.
I get what you mean about the wins.
I'll put it this,
but they got Shea. They got Shea, and they won. What was it? 40 games last year, 38. I just feel like they were leaps and bounds better than. I mean, San Antonio was like kind of terrible. I mean, they are terrible, unfortunately, for Vic.
Vic is minus 3,000 on the books for Rookie of the Year.
I'd hammer $10 in there.
Who's number one?
Huh?
Vic, he's minus 3,000.
Yeah, Vic.
Oh, minus 3,000.
Like overwhelming favorite. So I would say this for my pick. Depoy is Vic. He leads the league in blocks on a minutes restriction. He leads the league in blocks on a minutes restriction, dude. He's playing less than 30 minutes a night and has 4 blocks. That's a defense. No. That's they have a good team. They have a good team. I'm not giving Fraud Bear the Depoy over the guy who leads the league in blocks on a minutes restriction, man. I gotta give it to Vic.
Vic is my rookie of the year. I'm putting him on my first team all defense. Rudy is the best defender on the best defense. He is my Depoy.
I agree with that.
I'll give you that. But Vic leads the league in blocks on a minutes restriction and carries.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like
and
this,
offensively,
it's like this. It's when if you look at it, they're so bad offensively and so bad defensively that the other team has so many more possessions when they play the Spurs, giving Victor Wembanyama an inherent advantage because he's getting more and more opportunities.
His per 100 possession stats are still better, though.
I know, but I'm just saying he gets more, and plus he doesn't have the good perimeter defenders. Okay, so he's just basically getting a bunch more opportunities than people normally would. Also, people have never played with him before against him, so they're not used to that shot. So basically, every time somebody plays against Victor Wembanyama for the first time, Vic gets a free block shot on them because there's no way to prep or to adjust for.
I mean, that sucks for them. Vic's just too good and gets a free block shot.
But I don't think that's going to continue.
He's too much of a freak. He is
I'm not trying to discredit. I'm just saying Rudy Gobert.
All I'm saying is, dude, he almost doubles Fraud Bear's blocks for 100 possessions. Almost doubles Fraud Bear's blocks for 100 possessions. So I got to give Vic both. Because, like, rookie of the year, Vic, the biggest question I had with him was his shooting, which has actually improved a lot over the last, like, few months. Like, he's finally above 30% from three now, which he wasn't for the first, like, 2 or 3 months of the season. So I'm giving Vic both. Maybe that's just because I'm biased against Fraud Bear, because I remember when Reggie Jackson and Terrence Mann switched onto him and said food in the playoffs a few years ago. But Vic doubles him in per 100 possession blocks. Vic's defensive rating is like, what, 105, so it's like slightly worse than Fraud Bear? Or 107, so it's slightly worse than Fraud Bear. Okay.
All right, so rookie of the year. Okay, we're on Vic. Oh, well, we already kind of talked about that. The books have.
We kind of already did.
Yeah,
it's like kind of a lock at this point.
It's a lock at this point. Yeah, and you're okay. So with that being said, now let's move over to the MVP race. Giannis using Hoopside's little ratings, Giannis has overtaken Shea as the number 1 player in the NBA for the season, with, I believe, Jokic in 3rd, Doncic in 4th, and Jason Tatum has entered the top 5 with, I believe, Anthony Davis at 6. In your guys' opinion, who is your MVP? Is the MVP a 5-headed race? Is it a 3-headed race? Is it a 2-headed race? What is your thoughts?
AD Davis.
Oof. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I
think it's a 4-headed race because I don't think Tatum is going to win it, even though he really should be getting more consideration now. That's just me being biased. But, if I had to pick today,
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander
I'm going to go with Shai.
Has one of the most efficient scoring seasons of all time.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Sorry. I was just going to give you stats. Sorry,
I was just about to say. Shai's like almost at a 50, 40, 90 clip now, right? Like his free throws are 89 or something, like just below 90.
Something like that. Also, he has set like the NBA record for the most 60 plus field goal percentage on 30-point games, like some shit like that.
So his 3-point percentage is what, 38, not 39. Okay, so he's almost at 50, 40, 90 splits. Beside the point, I'm going to go with Shai over Giannis just because relative to expectations, the Thunder were not supposed to be where they are. And Shai basically just improved on last year's stats. Like he has the same numbers as last year, but more efficient. So I got to go with him over Giannis. Giannis is second because, like, again, you could argue that Giannis has been the defensive player of the year every year for the last 6 years now. And also he's still doing Giannis stuff. He's averaging like 30, 11, and 6 on a team that's top 3 in the East. Or actually, they might not be top 3 because of the dots slide. But Giannis is second. Shai's 1 just because the Thunder completely exceeded what even I thought of them. I really like this team coming in here. So
I personally think, looking at this right now, I think the only person that really could, I think Jokic kind of has voter fatigue. So does Giannis. I think that's still a real thing. People always want to give a new person an award.
Where's Luka?
That's what I was about to say. If there was anybody,
okay.
Yeah, if there was anyone to dethrone Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he's kind of fallen off of that level. But if Luka was able to keep playing at that pace he was playing over the last couple of games, last week or so, he's fallen off the level.
Triple doubles, 3 straight games.
Yeah, I know. But there was a point, what was he averaging? Like almost 40, like 9 and 9 for like
on like remarkably efficient shooting.
It was absurd. And he was just flying off the boards. And like they went on like a 5 or 6 game win streak. If the Dallas Mavericks were able to do something like that again to finish off the season in some remarkable fashion, at this point, I think it is Shai's award, unless something like that happens for Luka, maybe Tatum. But again, Tatum would have to like fucking just. It's just that team has too much talent that he just can't do that.
I think it's got to be Shai if. Like, there's no other all-star on his team. I feel like Giannis and Jokic. I mean,
Jacob might be a 3rd-team All-NBA. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah. But they're 42 and 18, and they're best in the West. I mean, Dallas has slipped all the way to 8. So I want it to be Luka, but I think Shai's pretty much locked in here.
Luka might be our next Damian Lillard, that he might spend his career just fucking always like just being a top 5 like MVP kind of guy, but like just never wins the award.
His defense.
Nah, he'll get one.
Tough.
He's got to get one, right?
We hope, but like we thought the same thing with Dame, bro.
Yeah, but I don't think
These
Dame
are
is,
crazy numbers.
Dame is not Luka though, man.
What's
Luka's
Luka
like-
averaging? 35, 8, and 9?
Something ridiculous.
Something
that.
around there.
Yeah, like
Yes,
35,
35,
8, and,
9,
assists.
and 10.
I mean, like
insane.
that, dude. That's just insane. That is absolutely insane.
It's like prime Harden numbers, dog.
If they can get to top 4, exactly. If they can get to top 4, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're still looking at the efficiency of Shea and Giannis as like historically elite.
I mean, but
Clips.
Luka's like shooting at like the best he's ever shot from 3 on the
Yeah.
most attempts.
These are the
which is like-
stats of the top 5 guys. Giannis 30, 11, and 6. Shea 31, 6, and 5. Jokic 25, 12, and 9. Doncic 34, 9, and 8. And Tatum 27, 8, and 4.
I'm leaning Shea as well. Giannis is on pace to be the first dude ever to shoot 60% and average more than 30 points. And he's clearing it easily at the moment.
Jason Kelsey retired.
Oh, wow. Let's have a moment of silence.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy that
Silent
Bill
has
and other
passed.
folks didn't do that.
A moment has passed.
Let's do it. Let's try for
That's why, yeah.
Giannis, man.
Giannis moment has
Who's
passed.
winning, Bucks or Celts?
I don't. I mean, I
Luke,
don't think
Derek
Bucks,
White. No
Bucks
love
not
for
even
Derek
making-
White.
Look, first off, Bucks are
D-boy?
not making it. The Eastern Conference Finals is going to be probably like the Celtics versus the Knicks at this point, if we're going to be quite honest.
Julius Randle, though, dude. I don't know if he's gonna play another possession.
I mean, they're fucking fine at times. It seems. I mean, Jalen
Yeah,
Brunson got hurt.
Eastern
Wait,
Conference
wait,
Finals.
Brunson just
though?
got hurt. Brunson just got hurt, and then we
See you,
had see you, Luke. Yeah, no goodbye.
So European of him.
Laptop just died. He said.
Doesn't he
But-
have class? Fuck.
He said he's got class in 5 either.
I
way.
forgot to make a joke to tell a girl hello for $10. Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's Boston's just coming out, and it's Miami's the biggest threat in the East again. I just think as long as that's, I mean, Jimmy Butler, I don't know if you guys have been seeing, he's fucking been cooking the last like 6 games, like 23, 7, and 7. And
It's time. It's his
Yeah.
time.
so I just think, I mean, part 4 probably of Boston versus Miami. If the Knicks
please.
don't get healthy, I mean, Cleveland's the dark horse.
Yeah, Cleveland. Yeah.
Cleveland's the dark
Yeah.
horse. The
Pacers
Knicks
are kind of down.
The Pacers are fucking
completely.
dude. Tyrese is like, the stats are bad. The stats aren't pretty.
The defense is terrible.
Terrible. And then you have the Knicks, that the health bug is the injury bugs hitting them hard.
How about the
I
Bulls,
personally-
man?
I mean, I think
Andre Drummond.
I think it's a Western Conference team that's going to win it this year. I think that's fact.
Yeah, unless Tatum goes God mode.
I mean, I just don't think they're big enough either way. Yeah, Al Horford, Xavier Tillman, and Kristaps Porzingis are there.
The
but
whole
like,
Jokic, the whole Nuggets win kind of has me off the whole height issue.
I know,
Unless
but
you're
like,
Golden State,
but like,
then I think that's a real issue. But
I think if they go against Joseph Nurkic and Kevin Durant, you
easy.
got
That's
yourself.
so easy. That would be so easy.
I don't
Any day,
know,
barbecue
man.
chicken.
I don't know, dude. Like, I
My
mean,
son
Yos-
slander is really coming out recently.
I
Fuck
mean,
him.
I-
Fuck Booker, man. The dude's. I love Devin Booker, but not against the Rockets.
I don't like his shoes.
Fuck that dude, man. I love Devin Booker. I'm just salty from the losses, but we got one the other night.
Yeah,
And I'd also trash talk as well.
I'm not excited. But talking about the Boston Celtics, what do you guys think of their win against the Warriors? Or, I mean, I'm not. Jaylen Brown getting upset over there, saying
Prefer
it
to
was
forget.
disrespectful. That
Yeah,
was a
enjoy
weird
your last
game.
win, Boston.
I thought it was an interesting win.
Fuck
It was not-
that win, dude. That was terrible.
I mean, the Warriors gave up at halftime.
yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know if it's too indicative either way.
They didn't play Curry in the second half, right?
Yeah, they pulled the starters like 4 minutes into the third.
Yeah, because I remember hearing the commentary saying something. They're like, Curry was already questionable going into this game, so they're already taking the precaution of not playing him. And then because I was folding laundry in my room and it was an ESPN game because I was listening to Bob Myers.
I mean, Boston can do this to people. They have 3 or 4 games where they've won by more than 45 points this year.
Set the NBA record for, I think, the most blowout wins, 50-point blowout wins in a season with 3. Yeah, breaking like the 71, 72 Lakers, some shit like that. Go on ESPN to get like the exact stat on that one, but
Joe
something
Mazzulla
like
on the
that.
hot seat. What happens if Boston gets bounced in the second round from like the Knicks
Yeah,
tape?
if you want, I was told by someone close to the team that when they were down 3, what was 3-0, 3-1, if they had gotten swept against the Heat, that it was getting weird. It was weird inside the building. That like I asked if Joe Mazzulla could have been fired, and I got responded that I don't know. It was weird inside the building.
He probably definitely would have been.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This year I would say the same thing for sure. I mean, it feels kind of like fine. The thing is, there's like Tatum's still so young. So I don't want to say Eastern Conference Finals or bust, but obviously for the Celtics, like anything but a finals win feels underwhelming.
No, that's a very fair statement to make. Like, sure, he's just firmly in his prime. It's totally Eastern Conference Finals or bust. This finals or bust given the state of the East right now.
Yeah. And their record and how they're looking.
I think if they lose in the finals in an accepting fashion, meaning like 4-2, 4-3, not a gentleman's sweep or something, I think like he could get fired if it's a gentleman's sweep, or it's not
if it's embarrassing.
Yeah, if they don't.
I mean that. Yeah, I feel like I
think he's improved as a coach. I don't think he's a good coach still, though. I think Joe Mazzulla like lacks rotation, game management, and like just again, these are all things that take time to like get. Like, I mean, Eric Spoelstra wasn't perfect there, but I think X and O's wise, Joe Mazzulla has a really good team that I think a lot of coaches, including might I dare say Doc Rivers, would be able to take this team to the Eastern Conference Finals with very little coaching. I don't think there's much. You have Al Horford. You have a lot of veterans on this team. Al Horford, Drew Holiday, Derek White. I mean, Jason Tatum and, Drew Holiday aren't like young pups anymore. You still have Brad Stevens there. So, and from what I understand, Brad Stevens still has a heavy hand in there. So it's not like you're the only coach there. So I think anybody could coach this team to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's how good of a squad they are. Like, I mean, I think the same thing at this point, if like Mike Malone, when his father died, had like retired and like Ryan Saunders took over as he's like one of the lead assistants for the Nuggets. I think this Nuggets team would have still a really good record. Would I be as confident as them repeating? No, because of, the coaching experience. But the whole thing is like I would still have them as favorites to go to the conference finals. It's just at times when teams are so good and loaded in talent with the right combination of veteran players that, I feel like as long as you have competent people around, I mean, for crying out loud, the fucking Bucks were supposedly a shit show and they still were 33-9 with a coach that they hated. You're professional athletes. You don't really have to coach them. You just have to kind of manage them, like the game, and like be smart about putting them in positions to succeed, and then make sure everyone is a cohesive unit and having the right chemistry to enjoy each other's company and to put each other at the best opportunity to win games in a championship that season.
Yep. And I think Mazzulla in the locker room, like I think he galvanizes them, but in terms of timeouts and schematics and stuff, he definitely is not among the best.
Yeah. And I think personality wise, I think he grew on people. I think the first year people were still, jury was out, still a weird guy. I still think I've never met the guy. I mean, I've sat like 3 rows of seats away from him. He's way smaller. Like, Joe Mazzulla is like my height. Like, I'm like I think Joe Mazzulla is like 6'1", 6'2". I remember walking by him and because he was with his kid, and I just remember like being very surprised how like small Joe Mazzulla was for being like an NBA coach.
Being a former Hooper.
6'2", 6'2", he's 6'2". he weighs 190 pounds. I see 190 and 200 pounds. Small guy,
Got,
you know. Like
got that Bob Huggins dog in him though.
yeah, yeah. I I think with that being said, if we go over to the NBA standings now, it's seemingly like the Eastern Conference is set. Even though shout out Philadelphia for staying afloat, man. They're doing a good job. And Orlando and the Heat are making headway. It's crazy to think the Pacers are now in the 8th seed. And then you got the big gap of Bulls and Hawks with the Nets and Raptors just fucking falling at this point. I mean, Nets and Raptors are both Raptors won the other night, and Nets are on a 2-game win streak, and the Hawks are losing 2. Bulls just lost, and the Pacers have lost 2. But the Magic are on a 3-game win streak. Sixers on a 2-game. He just won the other night. Bucks are on a 5-game. Celtics are on an 11-game. And I really think the Celtics, Bucks, Cavs, Knicks make up your top 4 seeds. I really think that's locked in solid. You might see a little shifting between the Cavs and Knicks and Bucks, maybe. And besides that, I think, the Sixers, Magic, and Heat are going to be the 3 teams that just switch between the 5, 6, and 7, trying to beat one another from being the 7th seed. And then the Pacers are just trying to stop the free fall, while the Bulls are trying to be like the upset team, while the Hawks just don't know what the fuck they're doing without Trae Young. And they're trying to see if like DeJounte can be something, and I think it's just showing that maybe it can't be for them. What's your thoughts on the state of the East outside of the Celtics, Bucks? We talked about the Cavs and Knicks kind of being the dark horse, so let's take those top 4 seed and go from the Sixers, Magic, Heat, Pacers, Bulls, kind of Hawks, like looking in from like that outside in picture.
It's crazy that the Magic are the 6th seed.
They feel better than the 6th seed, but it also just feels right that they're there. Like they're not that good, but they're good. They're like they've taken, and this is where we thought they were going to be a year ago, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah. Ultimately, they're still huge, and they've played really reliable night in, night out defense for 2 years now. So their floor is high. They got some bucket getters with size.
They're just missing a true point guard and a shooting. Again, it's just that's the whole thing. The story continues.
Yeah, but they've still gotten better throughout this season. I think the Scotty Barnes hand fracture is a pretty tragic storyline for the week. The Raptors team was fun to watch.
I think if Masai Ujiri knows what's right for him, let's try. Even though this is a shit draft, let's just try to get a top pick. We'll either trade the pick or we'll try to find our Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, but they're not going to make it to the bottom 6 probably.
Yeah, but like this draft is like it's such shit that like even if they don't get a top 3, at least if they can get a lottery pick, they can go and try to find the Giannis, the high. They're at a point where
they don't have it.
What do you mean?
It's top 6 protected to San Antonio.
Oh fuck! From the Jakob Poeltl trade, shit. I thought that was next year's pick.
So they probably will not make it down there.
I thought
they could, but.
I mean, they could, man. I think at this point, let's just try it. Well, you got nothing to lose. You're not going to make the play. And what's going to make the play and prove anything? I'd rather just go for that top 6 pick.
And, even if they only get to 8, maybe the lottery balls bounce through.
That's what I was about to say. Let's try to get to 8. Let's try to get below 10, so the balls maybe fall in our favor. We just have to get the 6, man. We don't have to get the 5 or 4. Markel Fultz is actually kind of been interesting. It's like hot and cold. He's Katy Perry. He'll go 1-5 on February 25th, but then on the 27th, he goes 6 of 12, scores 12 points in 25 minutes, then goes 1 of 4. And then the following game, he goes 8 of 8 for 16 points in 16 minutes. And I mean, on the year, he's played 25 games, continuing to be one of the best interior scorers at the point guard position, shooting 50% from the field and probably great at the rim, but I'll be at 11, just not taking threes again after seemingly having worked through that issue last year and starting to show that he was going to shoot threes to now, just again, not shooting them. Got a few rebounds, doesn't have a few assists, nothing special, seemingly on his way out of Orlando because he did not become the guard that they needed him to be, and they have other options at this point.
He's played 25 games.
Right now. I just think ideal. I really think the Sixers and Heat are trying to get that 6th spot, while the Magic are probably going to lock in the 5th or the 6th spot. I don't see the Pacers making it, or I just that's my thoughts on the East. I'm down to talk about the West a little bit if you guys want to.
I think the Pacers are just in a weird mojo stretch. I think that Tyrese Haliburton will rebound. I think that reintroducing Neesmith back to the rotation will help. They're worse because Buddy Hield is gone. That's just the fact of the matter. I do think that um less minutes for Benedict Mathurin somehow would make them better. Also, he just isn't going to be part of the future. I don't think.
Benedict?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of him.
I think I like him, but he's struggling this season.
He just can't defend anybody. Gets backdoored, awful opponent E field goal percentage. Like, doesn't really rebound. I don't know. I just don't see at his size, other than being the kind of like occasional bench spark plug that he is. Like, I just don't know if I see too much more there.
And that's fine. I mean, if he's just a bench spark plug, that's what he is. I think he can be a high level bench spark plug. I think at this point you just gotta pull. I think you just play the young guys, and you just see what happens. Let's go over.
Yeah, we can move to the West. I have a lot of Pacers spots. We can totally move to the West though.
Yeah, I think the Pacers are faltering. They had a hot start to the year. They're especially after trading away Bruce Brown. Yeah, Pascal Siakam's cool and all, but I think they made a decision to go somewhat old. I think they made a decision to get a free agent before he became a free agent, and they know that this year wasn't fully their year, and they're still a defense away from actually making a serious run. And at this point, they're just trying to figure out which young guys are worth keeping on the roster and which ones are worth trading. And they know that the biggest problem right now is defense. And once they fix that, they could seriously be a threat. But that's it. I think this season is lost at this point. It's just this was a working through season. I think they always knew where they were. Part of the reason why they were so good was they were a historic offense. Like literally, I think at one point they were the best offense in NBA history, while also being the worst defense in NBA history.
But the defense should be passable now.
Not really. Besides Miles Turner, Miles Turner's kind of a fake defensive guy. No offense, Miles Turner. I love you. Really nice guy. Got to hang out with him for a bit, but really nice dude. But like, I mean, look at this team. Tell me this. Pascal Siakam's older, so it's not like Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam's your defensive duo. Outside of that, your best defender was TJ McConnell, bro.
No, I'd go Nembhard, Neesmith, Siakam, Turner. That should be a not bottom
not really.
Not bottom 8 defense lineup in the league.
That should be. You got only like Neesmith and Nembhard and McConnell. Those guys aren't all defensive guys. And Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner. I mean, Siakam's the only one. I don't know if I think Siakam and Turner were both one time, maybe 2-time all defense, and they're not those guys anymore. So like you don't have an all defensive guy here anymore. You don't have a defensive stud. You don't have anyone holding it together. You have plus defenders in Nembhard, McConnell, and Neesmith, but they're not game-changing defenders. Pascal Siakam is not a game-changing defender anymore, nor was he ever a defensive player of the year candidate. Miles Turner was a solid, good defender. I think he second team all defensive like once when he had like the 3-block season or twice, but it was never a defensive player of the year candidate. I mean,
well, that's why passable is my word. You theoretically put an elite offense with 4+ defenders. The bench unit getting thrashed kills them, but
no, today again, like it just having plus defenders isn't enough. It doesn't, because like a lot of those guys, they're not plus defenders all the time. They're plus defenders when they want it to be. You need that that maestro who, like, when you have the Draymond Greens and the Marcus Smarts and the other, you look at all these the PJ Tuckers, the Dylan Brooks, you look at all these teams that do have these defensive turnarounds. It's because they have a guy, Rudy Gobert, that's basically the lead or the anchor of that. That's why you have defensive anchors. This team doesn't have defensive anchors that people can feed off of, play off of. So you just having guys who are plus defenders, most of the people who are just plus defenders aren't really plus defenders. They can be plus defenders, but Nemhard, he doesn't play defense all the time. Neesmith, McConnell's not really a great defender at the beginning of the. He can just get steals. He gets destroyed all the time. And Neesmith, he's the only one who can play defense, but he can really only guard wings and some forwards. He can't guard bigs. He can't guard
for sure
guards. So there, you just look at this whole roster. It's completely flawed defensively. So to begin with, there was never someone there like a Jaden McDaniels. There was never someone there that you could say, okay, he's going to be the guy who instills the defensive mentality that is needed to make this team at least middle of the pack defensively.
Yeah, no, they do need that. They need that guy for sure. That is the next step.
And that's why I think at this point you figure out, which they are, hence seemingly they're, pushing certain guys out of the lineups and they're figuring that out. Now, looking over at the West, I think it gets a little more confusing.
Final question before we move on. Odds that the Pacers end up with the 6th seed.
The other season.
1 to 100.
1 in 4.
25%.
I think 10% chance. If they knew what was good for them, they have their pick this year still, or did they trade that?
No,
Raptors?
Do not say that. No. If they knew what's good for them, they can get some crappy player who's going to play 10 minutes a night, just like their player that they selected in the top 10 this past season.
Sign should get more assets so they can try to sign and trade for Paul George, whoever they want this offseason. They're going star hunting this offseason again.
They're going ring hunting this year. And I think I think there is also a 1 in 4 chance if they meet up with a Cleveland in the first round that they'll beat them.
I'll give them a 30% chance at the 6th spot, but I think they are probably first round exit.
They don't own their pick this year. So yeah, never mind. I guess they'll be incentivized to go. I think they'll be a play-in team. They're incentivized if they don't have their pick.
But it'll be very interesting to look back on this as the inflection point of, all right, they kept all their young guys, they parted with the picks, and they're going to go star hunting. Like this deadline will loom in the future.
Definitely. All right. I don't care to talk about the top of the West. We kind of talked about that earlier, and it's just so monotonous at this point. Yes, is the Thunder. Yes, is the Timberwolves. Yes, is the Nuggets. Yes, is the Clippers. 2 of those teams are probably going to face each other in the fucking Western Conference Finals. We know that. All right, the Nuggets are the favorites.
Actually,
okay.
I think that's actually extremely unlikely.
Well, I'm going to tell you the thing is, and I'm going to point out every question mark you can give those 4 teams, and then I want to talk about the rest.
Lack of experience. Minnesota, lack of experience. The Clippers are the Clippers.
Yes. Okay. So literally, you guys have the Thunder, lack of experience. Timberwolves, lack of experience / Rudy Gobert, Karl-Anthony Towns, past history in the playoffs. Then Nuggets, I would say health is their really only concern. I feel like the Nuggets are the favorites. Yeah. Like the Clippers, like you said, they've shot themselves in the foot. They've gotten hurt, et cetera, et cetera. That's literally going to be our whole argument here. If we do talk about those 4 teams, I'm done with that. Everyone's talked about it. Let's talk about the Pelicans.
I think the issue is I think the West is wide open for someone to take Denver down because I like the Pelicans, but I don't, the Kings.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. The Kings are actually better.
It's like
people don't realize the Kings are better this year than they were last year. Pelicans are slowly becoming one of the better teams in the West. I mean, the Suns are, some weeks they look like they're fucking figuring it out. Other weeks they look like they forgot that they were figuring it out. The Jazz were on a run, and then now the Jazz are falling. The Rockets, I don't know if the Jazz and Rockets are playing team or not. The Warriors and
24 on the road.
I know. And then you have the Jazz who are 9-23. Then the Lakers are 12-19 on the road, while they're the 10th seed. The Warriors are the 9th seed. I just don't. You got the Mavs. It's just a very confusing Western Conference out of the Pelicans, Kings, Suns, Mavericks, Warriors, Lakers. Who are you willing to put your money on to be able to upset and be maybe the dark horse Western Conference team that faces one of the Thunder, Timberwolves, Nuggets, or Clippers?
I'll do in this order. If Andrew Wiggins comes back, this would change everything, but that's really concerning. I would go Lake Show, Mav City, sack time.
What do you mean?
To upset. I think those are a Western Conference Finals. That's my 3-tier ranking of outside of those top 4. I'm gonna go Lake Show, Mav Show. God damn it. It's sack town.
I would say Mavs and Suns and maybe the Pelicans.
Fuck.
I'm going Mavs, Lakers.
Hey. Welcome around. Do you believe?
I'm just trying to think. I'm right now torn between the Warriors and the Suns.
What worries me about the Kings a lot is Sabonis in the playoffs from last year.
I'll tell you interesting stats on the Kings also. The offense has slipped from, I think, first last year to like 13th right now. I don't have that in front of me, but they also outperformed their expected win total by 5.5 games, which is a huge number. It's one of the hugest numbers in recent memory. They've played like a 29 and 29 team, or whatever the exact math would be, maybe 30 and 29.
Sabonis in the playoffs, man. I don't know. I'm not. It just worries me from what Dre did to him.
Yeah, well, I have some more fears.
Mahamadou Gay is going to the Raptors on a 2-way, and then did Muhammad Gay sign with the Hawks last week, or was this always Gay?
Wow.
Me and Henry figured this out the other day, and then I forgot it already. But continue. I'm sorry for cutting you off. That popped up on my feed.
I was just saying the Kings have outperformed their expected win totals by the largest number in the league.
So I did see that, and
what was my concern?
No, yeah. Did you say you had I said my concerns.
You were talking about your concerns for Sabonis in the playoffs. I was going to say I have similar concerns for like how teams can schematically overcome the Pelicans front court. Like I just think that they are liable to potentially being out schemed. But yeah, that's certainly a risk for Sabonis. But I like that Pelicans team a lot otherwise.
I love that Pelicans team. There is no point guard on that team. There's
Zion.
There's no Zion sky high assist rate right now.
I know. There is no backup point guard. They lost Dyson Daniels to the meniscus. And Jonas Valanciunas might get played off the floor in the playoffs. And I think the biggest thing is they don't have a backup 5.
Larry Nance.
I know, but then you'll become small. And I wish they had Daniel Gafford.
Ooh.
They needed Daniel Gafford off the bench, bro. That would make me so much or a Jonas Valanciunas, Daniel Gafford instead of Larry Nance. No offense to Larry Nance, love him. I think that's my big problem. And then I like Trey Murphy. I think the big problem is there's no guard help off the bench. You got the wings, you got the forwards, but when CJ comes off, who's gonna run the show? When Zion and Brandon are tired, when CJ, if one of them gets hurt, it's just really hard for me to think they should have went out and gotten DeLon Wright. They should have went out and gotten Tyus Jones. They should have gotten one of those guards to really help Malcolm Brogdon, something like that to send them off the second unit. They don't have that. And that's the problem. When you get into the playoffs, you need your stars to get breaks. I think they're going to get killed when they don't have shot creation out there, either from a facilitation standpoint or even just from a scoring standpoint. I don't think they have it. And I do like this Pelican squad. And my concern with the Kings is while they might not have the front court help that I mean, maybe it's not front court help, but yeah, I think it's maybe the interior presence that the Pelicans are able to have. I think one thing that the Kings are able to do is they have Malik Monk and they have these plethora. They still have Davion Mitchell. They have a plethora of dudes off the bench that I think are a little bit more deplorable in terms of And also Mike Brown, no offense to love Willie Green. Love Willie Green. Mike Brown's just a seasoned veteran coach. He's a defensive coach coaching one of the best offenses in the league. So at the end of the day, if I had to pick Kings or Pels, I'm gonna go Kings on that one due to the experience. But I want the Pels to shock me. I just think there's a little bit roster plus. Don't get me wrong, love Jose Alvarado, but like Jose Alvarado's more of like he's like in that JJ Barea role where you want him to come in and just be like a bull in a china shop for like 15 minutes instead of like you want like Tyus Jones playing next to actually you don't want Tyus Jones, DeLon Wright playing next to Jose Alvarado because then you have some size next to him or like a Chris Dunn. I just think when I look, I got the Mavs, I got the Lakers because you know what the LeBron's gonna do. Mavs, I like that team. I'm gonna go with the Dubs, like Jackson says. I'm surprised Otto Porter didn't get bought out. Would have thought that was a perfect signing. But I think
It's coming, is it not?
it doesn't fucking matter anymore. He missed the fucking March 1st deadline. Can't play in the playoffs. Yeah, if you want to do it, you had to be cut or bought out by March 1st to play in the playoffs.
Let's see what
Yeah.
JK is about.
So if you want to be, that's why Jalen Galloway, when he signed with the Bucks, I would not be surprised that if he fucking plays defense, he could take Marjon Beauchamp's. I mean, Marjon doesn't really have a fucking role, but like he could fucking end up being put on the main roster for the playoffs. Well, let's play Pirtle. I still can't believe they did this.
Yeah. I don't even want to see it.
Ugh.
Um,
Montrezl Harrell, Naz Reid. Is it Naz or Nas? What? What?
Cole Anthony?
Oh,
I thought he shaved his head.
bang.
Smack him.
That dude's 23.
Yeah, you didn't know
That
that?
picture, that face is 23. Fuck.
You're rude.
I'm just saying, dude, I'm about to be 25 here. Like,
Feel old.
that picture makes me feel young.
I mean, Cole Anthony and I might not like.
Cole
age
Anthony's
well.
23. I'm 19.
It's
It's true.
Trying to hit that water park one of these days.
Yeah.
What water park?
Bush Latte Gardens.
Was it?
Yeah, facts.
They closed Wet and Wild in Orlando.
Wow, that was the
Sounds
name of a
familiar.
water park? Was that a X-rated water park?
Nah, Wet and
That would be
Wild.
sick. That's a business idea.
It was owned by NBC
That sounds
Universal.
uncomfortable.
It closed in 2017. It used to be open all year long. The water was heated, and
Oh, that reminds me of what Girls Gone Wild Spring Break.
yeah, that's why the joke was that he just made. So, okay, wait. I think they rebranded it. I'm pretty sure they just fucking like. I don't know if they like construct. Okay, after. So, from my understanding, is there's a place called Universal's Endless Summer Resort. And from my understanding, this is where the resort was built on the former site, which had closed. So is it still is the water park still? No, fuck no, it's not. It's just some pools, bro. Wow, they ruined it. They ruined Wet and Wild. You guys ready to see what Wet and Wild was? Wet and Wild was probably the most fucking insane water park I've ever seen. Like
Elon Cove, man.
every water ride you could imagine. Ready? This is from like an aerial view of like what it looked like. It was a massive fucking thing. You had like shit like this, like these bad boys. This thing was the black hole. You fucking went sideways. You had like little tubes there. They had like a wave pool. They had a volcano.
Wisconsin Dells clears.
Huh?
The Dells clears.
Look at this shit.
This is a budget Dells.
Wait, what, where,
Wisconsin Dells? Looks like a budget Wisconsin Dells.
what do you mean this is a budget? Yours is a budget.
Dude, look up Wisconsin Dells.
You could get up to some havoc at Wet and Wild though. The Brainwash, nice, big name.
No,
this Wisconsin, is what I'm talking about.
No, this is a budget.
Dude, that's a deep drop, man. That picture doesn't do that any justice. Look at that thing.
This looks like shit, man.
Fuck, it kind of does. Look up the Hurricane.
Look, you had Mount Olympus water ride, bro. Okay.
Oh, that is badass, dude.
That's actually at Wisconsin Dells, but
yeah, you don't get that at Wet and Wild.
Dude, look at this. Look at these fucking parks. It was like fucking massive. Like, look at this. This is Wet Wild. This isn't even the whole park. This is just a part of it, bro.
You know, that actually does look like Great America water.
Here's the size. Okay, so you had the black hole over here. You had a lagoon where you could go water skiing and
Love
like
a lagoon.
Yeah,
Bring lagoons back.
I feel like there had to be fucking like alligators in there. There's the Brainwash. They had the Bombay, which was like fucking like 1,000 feet in the air. It felt like when I was a kid. They had the Disco H2O. They had the Storm. They had the Lazy River, which was fucking dope. It was BYOB. They had the Bubba.
Really small.
They had a fucking wave pool, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Wave pools are where it's at.
Look at this. Look at that. They have one of those scary ass. I told you the Bombay fucking drop.
Yeah, I love a good drop, man.
Look at this bitch. Look at this bitch. This bitch was so high. That was not safe.
What's this translation there, Cyro?
Afundo a radical Bombay. At the bottom of a radical Bombay. Look at this is the whole park. Panoramic.
Trash. That's not a good picture.
That's a great picture.
Trash picture. You should make that your Twitter background.
What if that was my Twitter background? What if I made my thesis is gonna be like bring back Wet and Wild?
That one in like Budapest or wherever it is, that water park looks really cool.
Oh yeah, I follow a few French ones as well that are pretty fire.
What?
Europe's got them down.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know if it's actually. It might be Oh, that's it right there, Aqua World.
Whoa! What is this?
Oh yeah.
Are we going to Budapest, guys?
Oh yeah.
First live show.
Where the hell is
Budapest Aqua World? Budapest. You don't know where Budapest is?
Nope. Western Europe.
Never it is Western Europe.
Eastern Europe.
It is. I believe it's Lebanon.
Budapest.
Lebanon, if not like Croatia.
Lebanon, no
Hungary.
way.
I said if
where
it's not
is Hungary.
I said my second guess was Croatia.
For our viewers, what's up, Chris? For our viewers, remind everyone
next,
where Hungary is.
Just below Austria.
Austria's
right here. Germany's right here. Switzerland's right here.
And Italy.
And the Balkans is right here. Yeah, you fucking fuck you.
It's been a while. My house in Budapest. Isn't that a song?
I don't know. What should I eat?
It's a George Ezra song.
Isn't George Ezra like super like our parents?
I don't know. I think he rose to popularity maybe like 5-10 years ago. So I'd say no.
The more you know. Well, I'm gonna go, guys.
Excellent show. So what, Friday?
Friday, yes, and I'm gonna make stuff. So we need to figure out.
Shoot, I don't know if I can do Friday.
Wow. You fucking I actually can't do Friday either.
Oh fuck, dude.
I can do Thursday.
This is yeah. Let's do it.
Well, I gotta go to fucking Guatemala this weekend.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. Well, I leave I gotta drive to Maryland and I gotta go to Guatemala for
then you gotta drive to Guatemala
for like 5 days. I'm only gone for 6 days, like from the 10th to the 16th.
Bringing water to thirsty, desperate youths.
Malnourishment, man. Malnourishment.
You're going to tackle the malnourishment.
Just bring the cameras to document.
I'm documenting actually. Yeah, I'm not helping. I don't give a fuck to help.
Wait, are you actually going down to help youths?
I'm not going to help.
Isn't this for school that you were saying a while ago?
Yes, and I'm not helping. I don't give a fuck to help.
But are you supposed to help?
No, I'm filming a documentary.
Okay.
I'm filming a documentary of like hungry poor people.
Oh, you actually are. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I'm like like exploiting their lives, so I can then put that into a film festival and profit off of it.
Should hook them on Zins.
Well, I've been thinking about
shooting
I've been thinking about filming a documentary and been like, all right, guys, we're going down to Guatemala, and I've always been about helping people, but like the same way Steph Curry wants to help people, just not in my backyard. You could like affordable housing. I want it, just not where I live. So I'm gonna go to Guatemala and help these poor fucks out, get their food, and like bring them nourishment. And like, what if I bring like gushers and shit, and I film a mockumentary of me like handing them gushers and like Zins, and like, this is how we do it in America, you fucking idiots. Look at this Aboriginal. This is my Aboriginal friend Mbaku. Mbaku, I don't know if that's his name. Look, I call him Mbaku because like, I don't know, but just like say some real fucked up shit and the whole thing is I'm fucked up. But like, I'm affluent. That's the whole joke. I'd be acting affluent. And I'd be like, this is Mbaku and his friend Molly. He's got like this big mole on his face, and I didn't really care to learn his real name because, like, look at that fucking mole. That's all I could fucking notice. You guys notice that thing? So we're gonna try to go take him
classified.
Yeah, we'll take him back to America. Try to get him on that Medicare, Obamacare, and we'll see if they can chop that mole off.
You should do a mock-you series of bringing in Guatemalans across the border, like smuggling them in.
What if the whole thing is like I'm offering smuggling to Guatemala? It's like
you're trafficking, but in a good way. You're like good trafficking.
I film a whole mockumentary. I'm like, guys, I'm offering you free trips. Pasajes para Estados Unidos. ¿Quieres venir? And I have like a yeah. Henry. No. What if I have like a giant crate and it's like a stamp like to USA?
Jesus Christ.
Great, guys.
I think it's a good idea.
How fucked up would that be? You think the university would be mad that I spent $2,000 of their money to do that?
Probably not.
I think you have a lot of gray area for side quest content.
Just what if I just like get grapes and I throw them at them? I was like, I want to discover if these Guatemalans would stick up for themselves if I throw grapes at them. How many grapes would it take for them to react? Just throwing grapes at them.
We're done recording this Zoom, right?
You should just bully people. There's a real quick, my leaving segment is there's a great series going on. This guy's 2 weeks in. Yeah, we've been through this. Yeah, I did.
You renewed?
Yeah.
How'd you know? I didn't even say English right there.
Because we've been doing this for a year and a half since I moved here. I just know when it's coming. I'm disappointed in myself, but it's all right.
When's your lease end?
September.
Wow, another 6 months.
Did you get rid of the ants?
The ants are gone. I'm glad you brought up the ants because there's a great series going on. This guy's 2 weeks in. He found an anthill and he gives him a Zin every day. And he's
no way! I follow him. Oh my gosh! Thank you so fucking much. Because I'm in my parking spot. I go out to my car. Every time I'm going to spike ball or softball, I'm eating a pear, right? And I've been setting the pear down. And I took a video giving these ants a pear every day until they treat me like they're God. And I put it on my story and no one got the reference. So thank you.
Wait, do the ants take the Zin?
Yeah, they love it, dude. He's looking for the queen. We're waiting for the queen.
He needs to do better of like making slightly longer videos, though. I feel like.
How long is this series at?
Like 2 weeks, I think.
Have they responded, these ants?
Yeah, dude, they're dying. They're desperate. They're begging and pleading.
Send me this right now.
Yeah, I gotta find a guy. Henry's probably got it for you.
The next time I see it, I'll share it with you.
All right.